find in Japan. Part 2, pero tutuloy natin to kasi maganda nga. Gusto ko ipakita sa inyo gaano kalupit si San. First, I want to tell you, if you're planning to travel here to Japan, I highly recommend doing a food tour or food experience through buyfood.com. I'll talk about it. Ay, parang gusto ko nga yung tour guide. Parang masarap na kumain at magikot sa buwak mundo kung may kasama kang tour guide na ganun, no? About that more at the end of this video, but first, let's head to that expensive buffet. We have come to our second location, Yakinikuchi, Ryokasen. Immediately when you walk into this place, everything feels different. It's bigger, it's more expansive, there's room for waiters and people to come to your table. Here, you're not being served by a machine. Here, you're being served by people. People who are very well dressed, might I add. The gentlemen look handsome. The ladies look very traditional. I like it. Additionally, this is not like the type of buffet where you go up and get your own food. You sit at the table the whole time and you are served on by others. Right now, I'm headed to my table where I'm going to learn how this unique, expensive Japanese buffet works. You do not have to get a buffet as expensive as I'm getting today. There are a few different options in here. The cheapest one is 12,100 yen, but the most expensive one is what I'm getting today. That is the Kobe beef for 48,400 yen. This is brand name beef. So I'm basically eating the Chanel of Wagyu, which is amazing because Chanel also made out of cow. Okay, you understand that, but what are the logistics of ordering? First of all, this. Anytime you need anything, you just hit this button. Now the best part is it's not hardwired in, so you can bring it into the bathroom with you in case you need help. Nakakatawa siya, diba? Manood ka na kasi malupit yan si Sunny. Isa sa the best vlogger yan dito sa buong mundo. Okay, but I don't want to talk to it. Vlogger ng food human every time I want to order a food. That's why I've got the iPad right here. Look at these pictures. Big, clear. Look at this font. Readable. So, we're going to get started with our first course, the Kobe beef. Alright, here we are. Take a look at that. Look at this meat right here. We have 3 different types of beef. Kobe Wagyu. Yes, Kobe Wagyu. Premium salted beef. Tongue? No. Which one is tongue? Oh my god. Oh my god. Premium filet steak. Yes. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Arigato. Arigato. Alright, meat. Ganda ng mga tao sa Japan. May gusto ko pumunta doon. First, we have this, the filet. Oh my gosh, I'm just going to put the whole thing on the grill. Now, one thing you're going to notice right away is a big difference in the size of the meat from our last location. I think the last location used lasers to get the meat very, very thin. Here we've got nice, thicker chunks of meat. I'm going to take this monster piece. Oh, Lord. I'm going to give this a little bit of a dip in the barbecue sauce and let's throw it back. Oh Lord, now I know what I need walls to separate people. So you don't visually see people moaning with pleasure. May mga nilalagay na siyang AI no? Sumasabay na nagsausap to si, AI generated yan eh. Sa mga girl, sa chat, basta kung saan na AI generate, that was really good. But it's not just about the difference in quality, it's about the thickness of the cut too. It's so meaty, but so juicy, full of beefy, fat, exploding goodness. Such a satisfying bite. So that is our first cut. Now moving on to this beef tongue right here. Now you saw a beef tongue at our last location. Look how thick this one is. The beef tongue is one of the weirdest appendages of the animal because when it's just in its full tongue form and you're wiggling it around, it looks wild. It does look a bit disgusting. But when you've kind of peeled off the outer layer of the tongue and you cut it into thin, beautiful strips like this, it looks like steak, but it's going to have a much different texture. I'm going to give it a little bit of a dip in my lemon sauce and throw it back. Oh yeah, completely a different effort. Oh yeah, yun yung mga mukha niya na talagang satisfied ka dun sa mga ganun niyang reaction. Pansinin niyo, yung mga reaction niya minsan na pag nasa normal lang siya, it's good. It's good. Ayun yung fake reaction niya. Same bros. Totoo yan, gagawin siya. It's good. Tapos bigla siyang magsasalita ng mga bagay na na it's yummy, it's textures. Meaning nun, hindi siya ganun kasarap. Binapanggit niya lang yung experience. Pero yung mga ito, na legit yung reaction niya, panoorin mo paano siya mag-react. It's good experience from that filet. It's a unique, dense texture, kind of like abalone. If Japan can, they're gonna find a way to breed cows with longer tongues. ChatGPT invented a cow that has a very long tongue. Take a look at that right there. That's a cow that would know how to pleasure me. I mean, by way of its tongue meat. Right now I'm talking to Sakura, full-time manager here at one of the most expensive buffets we could find in Japan. I understand that not everything on the menu is super expensive, and in fact, you don't have to get super expensive meat if you don't want to. But if you want to, you can spend up to $327 on the most expensive buffet option. Why is it so expensive? The beef that they have shipped to this restaurant is very rare, so when they ship it here, it becomes really expensive because the demand is really high, but the supply is really low. Some buffets try to impress people by having over 150 items, but when it comes to meat here, you have under one. What is the idea behind not having so many meat options? Quality is really important for them. When you try to pick things that are high quality, it just the amount tends to get less and less. Well, so then the question is, what if you had to serve one meat dishes? What do you think is the most high quality, high priced, high value item that you have here? Kobe top sirloin. So it would be the Kobe top sirloin. Nice. I'm gonna try that. Alright folks, our meat is finished and it looks phenomenal. The last time I had Kobe beef, I was actually in the city of Kobe, and it was one of the best meat experiences I'd ever had in my life. You had a chef right in front of you, cooking every single bite to perfection. Today, I am that chef. I gotta say, I'm doing pag ganyan, di mo alam kung masarap ito. Kasi ikaw ay doing a much better job here than at our first location. And where I burned pretty much everything. Cheers. Di mo sure kung sila masarap kasi ikaw nagluto eh. Nasa chef pa rin lahat. Alam ba, pag binigyan mo ako ng itlog, o kaya binigyan mo yung chef ng itlog, siyempre magkaiba ng lasa yun kahit anong gawin natin. Parehas na ingredient, mali pala ako doon. Parehas pa rin pala lasa doon. Magkaiba lang yung way. This is the type of food to make you feel not worthy. It's so beefy, it's so juicy, it's heavy. I mean, you couldn't eat too many of these because you would end up feeling sick. But if you dose it properly, it's perfect. Just like fentanyl. So for my part, next course, just like a mother who doesn't truly love her child, I've got my iPad ready to go. So let's walk through some of the meats they have here. First of all, they have the Kobe rib meat. We just had that. Another form of Kobe, not as expensive. Special filet, we tried that. Beef tongue, we tried that. Moving on to the pork section, what I'm interested in is this right here, the Iberian pork loin. Iberian pork is one of the most expensive types of pork anywhere in the world. It comes from Spain and is basically the Wagyu of pork. But I also want to try the Wagyu of the ocean. And now we wait. Oh, hello. The Iberico pork. Thank you very much. The pork has arrived. Iberico pork. It's got the sheen of a delicious Japanese sauce on top. And see that kind of crab. Oh, is this a Japanese crab? Yes, crab. Okay, thank you. Our food has arrived. We have our Iberico pork right here, and it doesn't look like pork at all. It actually looks like steak. These pigs are typically raised in forests where they roam freely and feed on acorns, herbs, and grasses, contributing to their unique taste and quality of meat. Let's see how it tastes. Oh, that's a pig. That's a good big pig. There's just something naturally sweet about this meat itself. It's so delicious. Pork doesn't get the recognition it deserves, and in Japan especially, beef gets all the attention. But this is something special, and I'm in love. After Wagyu and pork, it's time to take a trip to the sea. Right here we have snow crab. I want to crack this open. Alright, let's give it a shot. It's salty and sweet and absolutely delicious. At first, you might look at it, you might think it's a king crab. It is not. This is not imported. This was brought from, the northern part of Japan. The sweetness is unmatched and it tastes... The sweetness is unmatched. This is very masarap. It's super fresh. From here, it is back to the iPad for one more order. Let's take a look. Now, near the end of the meat menu, you will find some unique items, including fine stomach. Let's get some fine stomach. I also want to get intestine and order sent. Now, you might be asking yourself, hey, Sonny, why would you order that weird stuff? Because I'm at a buffet that costs over $300. I want to understand why they have that uniquely unusual stuff on their menu. Even though the menu is not super extensive, you do make room for some cuts that we would consider unusual in the USA. Like you've got stomach, you have intestine, you have liver. Why still have those organ meats? God, so as you mentioned, in America, people don't really eat things like stomach or intestine, but when it comes to Japan, people really like stomach or intestine. So to respond to the needs of the Japanese customers, they still offer such dishes. That was a stunning and elegant way of saying because people like it. At last, our final course is arriving and it's right here. This looks actually better than I expected. Here we have some stomach, except Of course, hindi. Ewan ko ba't walang tinanong yun eh. Oh, batik naman yung sagot eh. Baka basa. In some intestine. So we're gonna throw this all on the grill. Now, a cow's stomach has 4 chambers. This is a portion of the stomach from the first chamber known as mino. The mino is a prize cut in Japanese barbecue valued for its chewy texture and slightly fatty flavor. When cooked on a yakiniku grill like this, it becomes tender and juicy with a pleasantly crispy bite on the outside, creating a contrast with its chewy interior. For most people, when they hear cow stomach, they go, no thanks, gross. But when you hear that description, there's just so much more to it, especially when you come to a place like Japan. That said, let's go for it. Unbelievable. First of all, coated in miso. So it has a super deep, savory flavor to it, and then there's like zero gaminess. It tastes delicious. On to our final food. Right here, some intestine. I've never seen beef intestines like this. First of all, they're not in a tube shape. They're so incredibly fatty. They've reduced in size by about half, and now they're crispy and charred, and they look and smell amazing. Let's go for it. It's so good. A little chewy, kind of like squid texture, not a ton of flavor. This could use a dipping sauce because it was only seasoned with salt, but it's not gamey. There's no funkiness. It's just a nice, crispy, toasty kind of flavor to it. I'm gonna dip it in my barbecue sauce just to give it a little bit more flavor. Oh yeah, the special care that has been given to this unusual, often discarded part of the animal, Japan, you've earned my respect. So this is my final food at this buffet. But from here, I'm going to step outside and tell you which buffet today give me the most bang for my buck. Today, ganun pa rin pala yung prep niya, no? We ate at 2 Japanese buffets, a very affordable buffet and a very, honestly, not affordable buffet. Kung ikaw, papapiling ka, dun ka sa $300 o sa $30, 10 times mo makakakain yun doon sa cheap, no? Pero masarap din yun at limited din yun, di ba? Pero ito, kung gusto mo siya i-try for experience, ako masasabi ko, okay siya i-try for experience. Ganun naman usual lahat ng business eh. At saka, kung ganun ka syempre kayaman, pwede mo talaga siya i-try. $320 in Philippine peso, mga nasa 17K yan around dun. 70 to 8, mga naglalaro yan dun, no? So, para sa akin, maganda, mga 18K per head, di ba? Eh, yung $30 nila na unlimited, nasa, 1.5, 1.6. Ayun yung tingin mo. Kasi dito sa Philippines, usually yan, Vikings, 1,000, Buffet 101, 1K din. So, nandun talaga tayo sa price na yun, and Philippines really is the pinakapunan na masarap. I love Philippines. $327 is not accessible to anybody. That's not something to save up for. That's a wild amount of money. Today I've been racking myself over and over about which buffet gave me the most bang for my buck. So here's what I've come up with. What I liked about location 1 was the solitude. I liked that I could just sit alone, put in my ear pods, listen to Joe Rogan for 90 minutes, and eat a bunch of meat and have beer delivered to me by a machine, not a human. Because do you know what machines don't do? They don't cut you off. Meanwhile, the second location, excellent service, premium quality meats. It was like a dream where I also wish I could have been alone. I just wanted to be alone and eat my meats. But if I had to choose one location that gave me the most bang for my buck, honestly, it's location 1. I want to see location 2 because it's so delicious and the quality is so high, but it is very expensive. Now, if I went there again, what I would do is spend less money. We went a little bit above and beyond with our orders today, and probably I would try to order something that's more like $100 and reel it in a little bit. But location 1 was super fun because they had so many foods. You have a machine delivering you the food, and it's a unique way of eating that we just don't have in the USA. So that is my final decision. But before we go, I want to say a huge thank you to the sponsor of this video, buyfood.com. Okay, ads. Siguro doon na tayo magtatapos. Ayun talaga yung greatest video. Ito yung mga gusto kong gawin sa buhay pero di ko pa siya kayang gawin kasi marami pa tayong responsibilities. Kaya once nung nagawa ko na yon, sige, tatry natin to. So, see you on my next vlog.